Hello, I'm Robbie Fowler and you're watching Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored Match Build Up show ahead of England playing against Uruguay. Weird. All very weird. Familiar yet different at the same time. You know what? We figured, fuck it. There's a match on. It's got loads of Liverpool players in. We're here. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Great. So we have Chris Page, John Mason and Jack Hart. Chris, first and foremost, I mean, how much more are you looking forward to this game particularly after England's performance against Italy?
I don't know if it's looking forward to any more. I'm looking forward to it because it's England in the World Cup, and I always do look forward to England playing in the World Cup.
Well, you weren't the right person to come to on that.
No. Not if you wanted your point proved.
Exactly. We were discussing on the World Cup roundup show that obviously the scouts.
And he's got branding issues. It was Brazil 2014 uncut.
So you could say paid attention. We talked about the scouts not English thing and blah blah blah. I'm saying I personally feel loads more excited to watch England, despite the fact that they got beat is because of the manner in which they played the football.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the thing I'm looking forward to is simply because it's like do or die, isn't it? You know, Uruguay have to win, England have to win, more or less, to have any chance of going forward. So it's going to be a hell of a good game.
Yeah.
Well, and whether Louis plays or not, I hope he doesn't, to be honest.
From every possible angle.
I hope he just doesn't play now until Liverpool kick off. You know.
I'll join you on that, I think.
It was an interesting one on Suarez, wasn't it, Jack? Because the Costa Rica game, I think Costa Rica called Suarez's bluff big time. Why was he on the bench? I think was he on the bench just because he fancied putting some shorts and some shinnies on? Because clearly you need goals. Your best player sat on the bench. He's clearly not meant to be. He shouldn't have been there, should he?
I don't know what the reaction from Uruguay has been, but it wouldn't surprise me if the manager's got a bit of stick for that. Really, you know, either having him there and not using him, or the fact he was allowed to be there in the first place.
He was quoted as saying Louis wanted to be on the bench.
Of course he did,
but he didn't have to be suited and booted though, did he?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean?
Could have been
just sat on the bench.
He should have been suited and booted. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Well, let's hope he wants to be on the bench on Thursday.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it. But I mean,
wind's obviously been in his ear, hasn't it?
But it spoke volumes.
Comfy and warm on that bench, Louis.
Absolutely. But it spoke volumes to me just how far off Suarez was, because they were talking as well that they were planning to rest him further on. I think I don't know. He clearly was. He clearly
hoped
ready,
they'd beat Costa Rica, and the thinking was that if they did that and had 3 points in the bag, they could probably rest him against England anyway.
But it's probably not good for us because you're already talking about it being do or die. Now they might just risk him.
Yeah, I think they might just risk him, but I hope they don't, because I don't think it'll be good for him. But if we beat Uruguay, obviously they're going home, aren't they? So you've had your best player on the bench, and not got on the pitch. So
and there's no. Let's be fair. Even Suarez, he will play. He'll definitely play. He will do everything in his power to make sure that he plays that game, even if it is to his own physical detriment.
And even if he gets on the pitch and he feels something, he won't say anything. He won't ask to come off. That's not the type of man that he is he?
No. It's what we said last week. You can't remove that from him. It's what we like about him. So it's inseparable, isn't it? Really, you have to accept that.
Yeah,
himself.
Obviously, the temptation is to discuss this from a Liverpool perspective, of course. Obviously we're talking about a lot of England players and particularly Luis Suarez. So just want to something I put out there on Twitter prior to the England-Italy game is what we're calling the Premier League rivalry amnesty. It's a mouthful, but bear with me on that. Basically, what I'm saying is it's during the World Cup, so let's put aside our club rivalries for a few weeks at least, because the easiest one, of course, for Liverpool fans is to basically hold up the likes of Rooney and Welbeck, and as the players that we're going to picture, and Leighton Baines, of course, and to be fair,
and Glenn Johnson.
I think two out of four, well, three out of four of them make your decisions on who they'd be. I think you'd be vindicated in saying didn't have great games. But what I was saying is it's not because they play for Man United or poorly right back for us. It's it's a World Cup. Let's just fucking I think as the exact quote was, we can hate on each other's players and teams for 47 months out of 48. Let's just have a little bit of a break for now. So, like I say, if you feel like getting behind that, do let me know your thoughts on that. If you disagree completely, because apart from the man pricks, there's a lot of responses that got back on Twitter. But look, come on, let's just try to enjoy the look. Look, the fact is, we were saying on the subscriber show this week as well, like Robin van Persie's goal against Spain is just genius. It's just brilliant, and the fact that he plays for Man United is completely irrelevant. He's a world class centre forward doing world class things on the world stage, and that's exactly what the World Cup's supposed to be for. So yeah, like I say, if you agree or disagree on any of that, let me know in the comments section. Let me know how you get on as the games progress. It's going to be harder because if and when the wheels do come off, it's very easy to revert to that, isn't it, Chris? You know what I mean? You do have it's very hard to overcome your natural biases.
Of course, even during the Germany-Portugal games, at the beginning of the game, I was thinking, I actually kind of want Portugal to score, and as soon as they started getting dicked, I was like, nah, I really hate Ronaldo. I'd much rather see him unhappy,
Absolutely right.
Well, you can do that as an England fan as much as a Liverpool fan can.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I say, I don't subscribe to the sort of jingoistic anti-German thing anyway. German national teams have always been brilliant. Going back to West Germany in 90 and that. So I think it's great. Actually, that's the beauty of the World Cup in general. But getting back to this game. The big surprise for me, we discussed this on the subscriber show. If you want to go back and check that out, obviously, as always, good laugh. And we've got a Reds transfer roundup show as well. 40 minutes, half an hour odd, plus of discussing all Liverpool's latest transfer rumours, etc., on the redmentv.com, which you should know by now. It's free for a month. Go and check it out. Anyway, I was really disappointed by Uruguay. I expected a lot more from them. One in particular, Edinson Cavani, I thought, in the absence of Suarez, he's still class. I really thought he would have enough about him to carry that weight alone, but he didn't have a good game particularly either.
I don't know what his goal scoring record's been like in the last year, but I know he's played on the left quite a lot because of Ibrahimovic playing in the middle for
and he's not liked it though,
Paris.
Has he?
No, so I don't know whether he's coming off, much like people are saying about Messi, he's having a bit of a year where his head's been down. I don't know if things have been a bit like that for him, but he just didn't look like he could carry. That Uruguay team are asking their forwards to be the thing that makes the difference for them, because they've not got a great deal behind it. They're not bad players by any stretch, but none of them are going to drive through and do anything, which doesn't sound good, does it? But he just doesn't look like he can bear that weight at the moment. So if they're not playing Suarez in the next game, I don't know where they've
got Forlan still messing about, haven't they? And that says a lot about their team when he's still the man they call on when Luis Suarez isn't fit. They should surely have some young forward there who's desperate to get a game, sure.
But it's still a good forward line and in very general terms, isn't it? Because Forlan's he's well past his best, but he's no slouch, is he? It's the World Cup. You're talking about the fact that Miroslav Klose is still gone with Germany. I know he's not at that sort of level, but he's a good player.
I mean,
and you'd have thought he'd been good enough for Costa Rica, which is maybe a little
Forlan's a good player, but if Cavani's playing the central role, where does Forlan fit into that? Do you know what I mean? He's not going to be fast enough to play out on the wide berths as such, is he? So
they don't seem to have any pace at all in that side, which is great for England.
It's easy to write them off after a very disappointing defeat, but if they were to get the win over England and possibly a draw in the final group match, they could be through to the group stages and looking very solid.
I mean, they have been awful throughout qualifying, haven't they? Till the death, when they desperately needed to win a couple of games and they won them. So, there may well be a team who can find reserves when they need to. So,
it's funny with the World Cup as well, though, because like Holland have started and their odds will have shortened massively. I don't think Holland will be anywhere near winning this World Cup. And teams do tend to win it and they go slow, don't they? Spain start slow early often. Was it a 0-0 draw or something like that? Yeah, they've really taken the piss this time. You can't draw any conclusions.
It's kind of like when you're driving down the road and this car's not handling right. What is going on? What's that red light on the dashboard? handbrake, fuck. that's kind of like, you literally see Spain go back and go, oh, right, yeah, you literally, they just didn't
Yeah,
start.
we forgot to take Casillas off.
Yeah. Fernando Torres. Bad one. Sorry, just answer the question for, according to Wikipedia anyway, 25 goals and 43 appearances last season for Cavani. So,
Pretty good.
Still alright there.
pretty
Yeah.
alright.
But he's not like that. He has been vocal about not liking playing on the left-hand side with Ibrahimovic.
And he's playing in a decent size, isn't he?
Yeah.
Whereas Uruguay at the moment don't look like a decent
Well,
size.
this is the thing, is that we, again, something else we discussed on the subscriber show, when you're talking about Lugano as captain, who's basically been released by West Brom. He's not a great player at all. You'd expect England to be able to get
The
profit
other
from their
centre,
players.
the other centre back from Atletico Madrid, isn't he? So he's had a good season, but they actually looked dreadful at the back the other night, absolutely dreadful. And I'm hoping that they play that way against England, because England are better than us.
Well, like I say, I was impressed by England. We've already discussed the obvious topic, of course, is the Wayne Rooney thing. If Wayne Rooney gets dropped,
Which he won't.
which he may do, I think, and this is a conversation I was having with Marcus Speller on Twitter, is that Hodgson has actually sort of laid the groundwork for this. He's talked a lot about Rooney, hasn't he? You know what I mean? And I think he potentially has, you know, softened the blow in advance over all this. But the question is, who comes in for him? Anyone?
Tumbleweed
Anyone?
just drips along there.
Not asked. Excellent. Right.
If he was fit, it'd be.
I'd be Lallana, I would think myself.
I'd have been saying Chamberlain without the injury. He's
Yeah,
been very good on the left.
Oxlade, I think you're right. I think absolutely. The thing that was missing from that attack, the difference, because potentially anyway, Rooney, Welbeck, Sterling, and Sturridge is quite an exciting forward line. But if you replace Welbeck or Rooney with Oxlade-Chamberlain, or if you potentially replace both of them and put Lallana in as well, I mean, what a forward four that is in
And
prospect.
it's whether Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to be fit, and it's still touch and go, isn't it? Whether he is or not.
I think it's going to be an interesting test for Roy Hodgson in this case, because we've seen a surprising versus. I didn't expect England to be anywhere near as exciting as they were in that first game. I had no expectation on that whatsoever. They've actually got me far more interested in watching England than I was prior to the tournament. But we've seen some things that definitely need to be changed from that game. It's whether Roy Hodgson, who has been so rigid over the years, does he have the ability to make on the fly sort of changes as the tournament progresses?
I'm kind of hoping that he's lost the dressing room and that Gerrard's calling the shots. And that's why we looked alright and exciting, because he's gone like, just do not listen to that fucking puppet. Do what I say, right, we're going to play this way. Because it was nowhere near like Honduras either, was it?
Well,
it
the
was
centre-back split a little bit further and let Gerrard slip in a
so
bit more.
now Hodgson's a puppet, Gerrard's in charge now.
You heard it here first.
Wishful
Before
thinking.
the game, all the press said that Sterling was going to be on the bench, and like 2 hours before, it just spread like wildfire that he was going to play.
Hodgson, the master of deception.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, now the press is saying that Rooney's going to switch with Sterling, and Sterling's going to be playing on the right, Welbeck on the left, and Rooney in the middle. And yet, maybe Hodgson will master of deception will change that as well.
So it all means that Sturridge is going to get dumped out wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Gerrard's going to be playing as the...
Gerrard will be playing on the left. Yeah, absolutely.
But, I mean, if you're Uruguay, you look at the Italian game and say, well, they're wide open down that wing, so why aren't we looking to do something there? So Hodgson's got to do something about the left.
I think in that, you'd like to think Uruguay should pose less of a threat. You'd like to think
A half-fit Luis Suarez on the left.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or
I mean,
left.
but I think with regard to that, the tracking back issue, because again, as we've already discussed tonight, is that Leighton Baines was left all at sea without really tracking back. Raheem Sterling is incredible at tracking back. Danny Welbeck's got the engine for it as well. I think that would work better. The question is that if Wayne Rooney doesn't perform playing in the 10, what next? Is he going to be given another game?
But also,
what if England draw against Uruguay? Because that'll still put them in a reasonable position. Because they'll go into the last game needing to beat
and they'll have to
Costa
go play
Rica.
Italy. Yeah.
And the question is then, if he really doesn't perform, where then do you keep because the logic at the minute is like, he is a good player, keep playing him until he delivers.
What would be annoying for me is that two players who played really well in Sterling and Welbeck in central roles are going to be pushed, or at least one of them is going to be pushed wide, if not both, so that Rooney can be accommodated in the middle. And Rooney had a terrible World Cup in South Africa.
Yeah.
He's not started very well in this one. He hasn't really played very well for England for donkeys.
Did you hear the excuses of why he had a terrible...
Boots on the wrong foot?
No, it was not enough of his family and friends were there and stuff, so that's why he's got the largest entourage at the World Cup out of any England player. He's got
because all
agents, his
all the
mates.
Dutch players saw their wives and girlfriends before the game, didn't they? So that's probably why he's got that.
Moaning ass bastard, like.
That's right. It's bollock. I mean, again, it's just
Khalil's winging their way over there now.
Well, no, it's a bit of a tangent though, but like, it was something Steve McManaman was saying about, like, about how he integrated with Real Madrid was because he didn't have his family around him, whereas Michael Owen didn't integrate because he had all his family with him, because you throw yourself more into it when you've got no choice but to do it.
Yeah, you become part of the squad, don't you?
Exactly. The thing about again, I've said this before, Wayne Rooney is a phenomenally talented footballer. I just think that it's like, someone said to me, is it all Nike's fault? Has he just been getting hyped up? You know what I mean? Like, they've got to have a poster child for every team, and Wayne Rooney has become it for England. Like, he's the great white hope.
Have you seen the Samsung advert where Victor Moses makes a brief appearance?
Victor Moses does a slidey in some water and gets off.
Doesn't appear again.
Does not appear again. And
sounds like his Liverpool career.
So yeah, it's just the Rooney thing.
I reckon Victor Moses will have paid to be in that advert. He's one of
a Twitter competition to be in an advert with Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. Absolutely.
I mean, the worst thing you can do in any team is pick people because of their reputations and not because of their form or the way they fit into your team. And I suspect this is Rooney's last chance, if he does play.
Do you think what he ultimately does is gets dropped, throws a tantrum and threatens not to play again, and gets given a higher appearance
£3,000 a
fee?
week.
Yeah.
But you know what? Wayne Rooney needs to be hungry. And there's no... Yeah. Come on. Premier League rivalry, amnesty.
It's got nothing to do with the fact that he's a Man United player. It's the fact he's a fatty.
But what I want to see from Wayne Rooney is what we all were envious of him when he was at Everton and he moved to Man United, is that never say die attitude, the passion with which he plays. I want to, maybe booting him to the bench will give him that kick up the arse. So, having him to come off the bench won't be a bad thing. I don't think.
You say that, and in principle, it sounds like it could work. But he spat his dummy out the other night. If you bring him on, he's going to spit his dummy out that he came on as a substitute and he didn't start. So you can't trust someone like that.
I know. Well, we've seen this as well. He played centre forward for Man United, scored loads of goals, but doesn't like playing centre forward. So he always looks to come deep when he's playing centre forward. Anyway, the whole thing about Rooney does mind me. But I did say I thought he should have been out before the tournament even started. But again, just to play devil's advocate, and I said this before, great cross for Sturridge's goal in the last game. So you can see his talent. I mean, I saw there was some highlights on the telly today, and it was his halfway line goal that he scored in the season. It's great. The overhead kick a couple of seasons ago he scored against Man United. The guy's got loads of talent. But the problem is that I think you just need to sacrifice. Someone's going to have to be sacrificed for this team, for the good of this team, and Raheem fall on your sword. Now, Daniel Sturridge did all he could, score the goal on very limited service. Raheem Sterling lit the game up, great finish. Danny Welbeck put a real shift in. Wayne Rooney just doesn't look right for that team the way England are going to play, and I hope I'm proved wrong. I hope he proved me wrong. I genuinely do. Danny Welbeck proved me wrong big time, and I hope that continues as well, because it's the Premier League rivalry amnesty, and I want to see Man United players be successful in this tournament and no further beyond it. No, as long as they play for England. Anyway, well, exactly. But the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter. I know I'm not massively attached to England, as evidenced. Like but I do want to see England do well, because I just do. You know what I mean? The closest thing I've got to a team in that tournament. So I want Danny Welbeck to have a good tournament, and I want Wayne Rooney to have a good tournament, and I want everyone, want Jagielka and Co to deliver the goods. So I hope they do. But right now,
Thierry Henry made a good point when the game was on, that if Welbeck would actually bomb on at people like Henderson and Sterling did, rather than just be very laid back, and whereas he played like an 8, he would have been a 10. If he actually goes at people, he's got phenomenal pace and power.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the potential, and we've talked about this in a wider sense, is that this season coming is Danny Welbeck's make or break season, I think. Yeah. Well, he had one last year. And what I mean is, I think he's at that age now where, like say, how Sturridge has kicked on in the last 18 months. He's got loads of innate talent.
It's just finishing that lets him down, I think.
That and the fact that he's as likely to fall over the ball as he is to just skin someone incredibly, and that's a fine, it's a fine line, isn't it?
Sounds like Andy Cole.
Sounds like Andy Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Okay, score predictions, Jack.
2-2.
2-0.
To England.
Yeah.
Okay.
2-1 England.
Okay. 1-0 to England, because it's not going to be.
I have to say, I've predicted every score up to now, got them all wrong. So.
Yeah, same here.
My thing about England is I forget that they're not Liverpool. I had this during the Italy game. It was like I was expecting England to score and go on and win.
2-0 up after 10 minutes.
Exactly, just being cruise control. And when the equaliser came, I felt great. And when they got the second, because I've been so used to it this season, I suppose. And I also think that everyone's saying that England should go on and win this game, and they should go on and win against Costa Rica if they replicate that form from Italy. The problem is it's England, and there's just no guarantees that they'll be able to do it. I hope, but
no. I mean,
recent history
in fairness, the Italians were very, very good. And once you go a goal behind the Italians, I know we scored like almost instantly after the first one. Once they scored a second one later on in the game, you didn't really hold out any great prospects that England would break them down when you're getting tired as well. But I don't think the Uruguayans are anywhere near as good as the Italians.
Well, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Anyway, let us know your score predictions. Let us know your thoughts. Who comes in for Wayne Rooney?
Can I just say?
Go on.
Hodgson today said that Luis Suarez wasn't world class.
Oh, yeah. Good one, boys.
That's a terrible time to say that.
Can I just say...
You left that till next week.
What a fucking idiot. What an idiot. Why? I mean, the couple of days before the game, don't poke the bear. It's a saying in our house. Don't, I usually just when the child's playing quietly and they're not bothering anyone, don't poke the bear. Have you seen this, Chris? What a fucking idiot.
He's an idiot. We knew that though, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's no surprise.
It is no surprise, but I mean, for someone pointed out he was the top goal scorer in the Premier League. Like second or something, top assist, second or third, player of the year. Season before he was second highest goal scorer. He
was probably talking about the Spanish Luis Suarez.
He's got a great record at international level. And so.
But even worse, he said the reason he's not is because he's never done it on the world stage.
Over 38 years.
Well, here's a game for him to do it on the world stage coming up.
Basically, just throwing the gauntlet down to one of the best 3 forwards in the world. Yeah, I just have fear. It reminds me of Benitez nailing Drogba and then him coming out and murdering Liverpool in the Champions League. Like, it's just, Roy, if you're watching,
get back to Brazil.
Are you on crack? Seriously, why? I don't answer in the comments below. Why on God's earth has Roy Hodgson said that? Is he stupid? Is he mentally deficient? Does he think? Yes, nods all round behind the camera. Does he think somehow that it's going to have a negative impact on Suarez's game? Let me know in the comments section underneath. Anyway, right, we're going to wrap up there. Thanks very much for doing this. Thanks very much for watching.
No question from Dave.
No trivia question.
Hey, Dave. No trivia question.
No, we'll save them for the season. For the real Redmen.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, you're having to lie to us. On the watch more Redmen TV goodness on the redmentv.com transfer roundup show, as well as Brazil 2014 Uncut, our World Cup in-depth analysis show. Go and check them out for free for a month. You know the score. Just do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good. Sounds that thing. Gaping head wounds, Gary Lineker's ears
clogs Zinedine Zidane. Overhead kicks, a garish opening ceremony. Old fellas in shorts.